Hey, 6th grade, good morning. This is language class for Tuesday, March 31st. We will be looking a little bit at lesson 8, going over a few things that you're supposed to have finished, and then talking about what is in lesson 9. So just turn to page 26, please, and let's just go over a few of these answers in lesson 8 to make sure we know what we're doing. This is still working with indefinite pronouns. When the indefinite pronouns are the subject. So far we've looked at about 16 indefinite pronouns, I think, something like that. All of which are singular except for 4 of them. There are 4 of them that are plural and the rest are singular. And so you need to be familiar with them. Okay, there's lists of these, find the lists of these, but when a singular one is the subject, you have to have a singular verb, okay? Even if the singular one refers to an object of the preposition that is plural, okay, or that looks plural, you always go by the indefinite pronoun. When you're working with the singular ones and the plural ones, you choose either a plural or a singular verb according to the indefinite pronoun subject. Remember that subjects cannot be in a prepositional phrase. Okay? So the indefinite pronoun may be referring to something that's in a prepositional phrase, but you still go by the indefinite pronoun to decide whether or not you have a singular or plural verb. So in 1 through 10, you're supposed to underline the subject, circle the correct verb. And it gives you the option of putting parentheses around the prepositional phrases so that you don't use the object of the preposition as the subject. Number 1. Many of the trees have broken branches. Many is the subject. Many is plural. Many have. Number 3. Nobody was. Nobody in any of the buildings was injured. Okay, nobody is talking about one body. Nobody from this group. That's singular. Number 5. Each of these paintings, so you're talking about paintings, but you're saying each one, each is the subject, each costs. Number 7, few are. Few is plural, few are. Number 9, several were. Several is also plural, so you need the plural form of the verb were. Okay, so get familiar with that, get comfortable with doing that, figuring out, and most of all, you just need to know which ones of those are singular and which ones are plural. Let's just look at number 11 yet on lesson 8, prepositional phrases. You're supposed to put parentheses around the prepositional phrases, label each one as an adjective, adverb, or an adverb phrase. The king arose very early and went in haste unto the den of the lions. So prepositions. There are also lists of prepositions on your reference sheet. Please be familiar with prepositions so that you can find prepositional phrases. You have a phrase that begins with a preposition, ends with the object of the preposition. Number 11, the first prepositional phrase would be in haste. Now what does in haste modify? In haste says how he went. Went is a verb, so in haste is an adverb. Also, unto the den in parentheses, and that is saying where he went. Again, an adverb phrase. Of the lions is talking about which den, the one full of lions. So that is an adjective phrase. Remember, adjective phrases come right after the word, the noun or pronoun that they modify. Okay? Adverb phrases can go anywhere to the verb in the sentence. It can come before the verb, after, whatever. It's not necessarily right after. Sometimes it is, but not necessarily. But an adjective phrase always comes after the word it modifies. So of the lines modifies den, that is adjective. All right, let's look at lesson 9 quickly. We are now introducing you, page 29, lesson 9, to 5 indefinite pronouns that can be either singular or plural. It depends how they are used in the sentence. Okay, there's other lists. There's 15 or 16 that are always singular. There's no exception to that rule. They are always singular. There are 4 that are always plural. Now we have 5 that can be either singular or plural. Some, any, none, all, and most. So when these are used as subjects, then you look at the word that they're referring to, the object of the preposition that they're referring to. If the object of the preposition, if the word that they're taking the place of or that they're referring to is singular, then you use a singular verb with it. If they're plural, you use a plural verb with it. All right, so here it matters what the object of the preposition is. So let's look on page 30. Look at the examples. The examples on the top. Most of the mud has dried up. So you look at the object of the preposition. Most is talking about the mud. Okay, mud is singular. So most has dried up. Mud is singular, so you use a singular verb. Most of the ice cubes have melted. Prepositional phrase, of the ice cubes. Cubes is plural, so in this case, most is used with a plural verb. Most is still the subject in both of those, but because it is a singular object of the preposition in the first one, most of the mud has dried up. Plural object of the preposition in the second one, most of the ice cubes have melted. All right, so let's just check some of these out. Look at number 6. Circle the indefinite pronoun. Draw an arrow from each to the word it refers to. That means an object of the preposition probably. Then underline the correct verb, okay? Because it makes a difference. If your object of the preposition is plural, then you need the plural verb. So some of the pages are missing. So some is your indefinite pronoun. What is some referring to? You would circle some and put an arrow to pages. Then you need to decide, is pages singular or plural? 1 page, 2 pages, so that is plural. So you need the verb are. So circle some, put an arrow to pages, and underline are. Number 8. Most of the boys plays hockey on Friday afternoons. Again, you have the indefinite pronoun most with it. Excuse me. With an arrow to boys. Boys is plural. So most play hockey. Most of the boys play hockey. 10. Most of you finished reading the story. Have or has most of you finished reading the story? So you in this case is what? We know that you can be either singular or plural, so you have to decide whether you is singular or plural. So if I'm talking to a group and I say most of you, is you singular or plural? You is plural. So you would circle most, put an arrow to you, and that is plural, so you need the verb have. Okay, if you're not sure which of these being verbs, which of these helping verbs are singular or plural, put a plural form of a word in. Okay, so say the boys. The boys have or has. Boys have. Boy has. Okay, so you can figure out there, make it sound right there. So in number 10, it is have most of you. And number 12, does any of the keys fit in the lock? Indefinite pronoun any, with an arrow to keys. Keys is plural, so you need do. Do any of the keys fit the lock? All right, so please do lesson 9 for tomorrow. Do it carefully, because this will be the lesson that I pick some to grade from. So please do it carefully, do it accurately, and we will grade some of these to put on, the report card probably. So keep that in mind as you do this lesson. Thank you.